guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Brew and Build. Today we are back here in the Netherport City as per usual, and we are continuing our work on the Lighthouse. Last episode we built up the main Lighthouse portion of the Lighthouse. And today what we're going to be doing is working on this bit right here, and then a little bit of planning as to how big this area is going to be here and stuff. As you saw in the time lapse at the beginning, I worked on getting this wall done a bit more, got the actual siding in and stuff, and then actually made a little bit of a bridge. Not finished with that. We'll be doing that in between in between clips to get that figured out. And then I want to finish this lighthouse off, make the lighthouse keeper's house, and then do some planning as to what this whole island area is going to be right here. As you've seen before, you may be noticing there are trees missing, and that is kind of where I go and get spruce wood instead of just farming up big ones. This all needs to get cleared anyways, so I'm just going through and getting rid of them. And it's collecting leaves as well for use in these types of trees. And so what we need to do is kind of plan out the next stage of what is going to be here. And I've been having some different thoughts. Originally, I was thinking this was going to be extending out and being like this big, huge type of place here. But I'm thinking this area needs some form of farms, as you can see. I am growing potatoes and carrots down there because, one, I am out of food, and so I'm back to eating potatoes. And last episode, one of you had mentioned it's obvious that I'm running low on food because I was eating beetroot. And it's not because I'm out of food. No, never. I'm never out of food. I was totally out of food. And so I had to chomp on some beetroot, which only makes you have 1/2 of these. One beetroot equals 1/2, which takes forever to restore your food bars. Now, as you can see, I've been doing some work here, just preparing for this episode, and we can go ahead and take a look at that. I am not going to run off the edge like I did before. We can take a look at this and just see what all I've been doing. So firstly, as you can see, this is the bridge. Very, very rough. Have not really gone through and made this totally out of the materials I want. Just laying it out with stone to get an idea as to the arch that I want to make for it. And I think overall this is what I am going to be going for. And eventually this all will be moving as well as this roadway continues to expand and go out this way. One question I wanted to ask you guys before we get into anything else is, do you like this green sort of look? The more and more I see it, I don't mind this. I think this is fine. It's these blocks that I'm not sure. I think it might be too much. And now I can go through and maybe eliminate a good amount of them and just make it predominantly this that has it, and maybe 1 or 2 every 15 blocks or something. But I was wondering if you think coarse dirt would be a good alternative to bring in some brown and tie this in a bit more. I certainly don't need to have it tied in, but was just an idea as this area is going to be a little bit, maybe a little grimier. And that's originally the plan, was this is supposed to be like moss. I don't super dislike it. I think I may first try what I had said about making fewer bits of this green and just making it more this. That is the green factor. Because I think this is just so strong when paired up next to these that it just needs to be a little bit less. But if we go up here, we can take a look-see at the little bit of the pathway that I've been working on, added slabs and stuff. And I've added 2 tunnels. So this is the base of the lighthouse keeper's house. And I needed to figure out how to put the house here but still have the pathway, and so made this little arched tunnel right here, and then the entrance to his house will be right here. And I think this is a very nice little addition here, and it's pretty simple. I tried to keep it pretty simple, and I've been playing a lot with using walls, and you'll see down here is another one. I wanted the pathway to come back down here because this is the level that we'll primarily be building at, and so I wanted the pathway to come back down this way. And so then there is a tunnel that can go through right here to get to this storage. area, and this is where our storage is going to be. As you can see, this is the bottom of the lighthouse, and I figured why not, let's make this a big storage area, and I'm going to move all of our storage from over there to underneath here and just make it like a whole storage room where we don't have to really move anything, and we also have access to a bed and stuff, and we can kind of move out of the little hobbit hole thing over there. But this is just one little bit here. The reason we need to do planning is I want to add some farms out this way. I think this is a good area because we are also expanding out that direction for houses and stuff. I'm thinking this area could be good for farming, and who knows, maybe I'll make it like cliffed all the way up, so this is all like one level and it builds up even further. Not really sure. Haven't really done a ton of planning. But and I said I've been playing with walls. This is what I've been doing. So now that walls connect like flushly against it, it adds a nice bevel effect to this, like makes it just like a little bit more interest. And it's just another way of being able to build with one material, but make it still look like it's an interesting build spot. And it's nighttime, so let's go ahead and sleep. We can go into this house. Not much in here. I have laid out the floor. It is pretty much entirely spawn proof right now because I just didn't want to deal with it. This area is a little dark, but that is okay. It's actually pretty, during the day it's lit up, it's fine. Because this is currently open, and this is actually going to be the stairway to get into, this will be like the beginning area for the actual like house. This lower portion may be like guest area or like storage and stuff. It's not going to be anything too particularly interesting. So up here is a good vantage point to be able to get a good idea as to what the land that we're working with is looking like. And as I had said before, down here is going to be the ship builder. I'm not sure if this is going to be, it's going to be a big build. I just don't know how tall it's going to be really, because the ship area, and it's probably going to be a pretty tall build because it's got to contain ships. But I'm not sure what we should do over here. My first idea was to bring this out to about this area, like this level of cliff area. Bring this out to about here. Maybe extend it around here, and then this entire area right here be a bit lower. Here, let me take shaders off. My frames are dying. Oh, that is so much better. So as I said, a cliffside right around here, and then it kind of connects right here. And then this area here is lower and can be like farmland, but I really don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want that to be lower or if I want it to be this all to be like all on a big raised cliff area, and then it kind of like build up right here, similar, like think Zelda Great Plateau type of thing, just not to that extreme, to where there's like another plateau that's a little bit bigger, like in the center, and that's where all the farming is. Let me know what you think down below. I'm going to be doing some planning in this episode, of course, but I am definitely not going to be like totally sold on the idea, I can imagine. I just know myself. And so if you have an idea as to what you think should be down here, definitely leave me a comment down below. That's enough blabbing about potential plannings and all that. Let's go ahead and get on into the time lapse of building up this build. And I also want to do some interior work on it as well and just have a nice completed build. So let's go ahead and jump on into the timeline. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed that time lapse look at this build now. I think it looks so good with the building on the side. It is much more like the concept art now, and I am actually really happy with how this has turned out. And yeah, so we are going to be doing the interiors a bit. I've laid out the floors, but there's a good look as to what this is looking like. Look at this roof color palette. I think that's so good. It matches up there, but we're not using the warped wood. We're using just dark oak. I think that looks so good. I really love pairing our nether brick with the red nether brick. I think that looks so good as a roof. And so this is a small trick that I learned just playing around with windows. Our window textures, the white window and the regular pane go so well together. Like, this is such a cool design, at least. I don't know why, but I just really like what these windows with these textures look like. Now I need to go and put some flowers on all these flower beds, but I can do that off camera. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a flyby first. We do have our elytra on. I have been, since this has been a really tall build, haven't been sticking with just my chest plate, and you can see this is it's got a nice footprint, but let's go ahead and go on in via the bottom. I think that will be the best option here. So coming up here in this staircase, we've got this little staircase here, which I need to light this up. Actually, I have lanterns. Aha, there we are. Reason we need to light it up is there was a spider in here earlier. So this is the staircase that goes up to this level. And so we've got this first main level right here, and I've already done some dividing off as to where the staircase is going to be and where different rooms are going to be. I'm not going to do this floor with you guys. I don't think this floor needs to be done with you because of the fact that it's just your standard like living room, kitchen, bathroom type of stuff. You will see the end result, but I'm not going to build it on camera with you. And so we're going to have this is going to be the bedroom area, this right here. This is going to be the bathroom. The loo is going to be right there. I'm probably going to fill this in so this is all stone right here, not actually going in by one. So the bathroom is going to be right here. And then this is going to be the living and kitchen area. Probably going to be like a kitchen in this corner, just a small little one, and then some seating over here with like a small table or something. It's not going to be it's a big building, but it's not really going to be big for the living situation because that's not actually what the guy that lives here wants. And that's going to be, look at that window also. This is a fun window design. Let's go up here. So here's the staircase that goes on up, but look at this little window design. I actually really like alternating the blocks on the edge with our central piece. I think that actually looks really cool. And yeah, I'm very pleased with how most of this looks. I think I need to put that type of pane right here on the edge so it is purely all white or going around the edge. And it looks like it's getting night. Let me go ahead and sleep. And so since this is a pretty tall room, I may potentially make extra bedrooms or something down on like this level right here. But I don't, this is gonna go, this wall portion right here is going to go all the way up. I don't want to make any rooms that are above this because we have this big grand window. I want that to be filtering light into the living area. I think that'll be good. But this area right here could do for another like guest room or something, or just a small storage room for this down area. I think could be good. And we could do the same thing over here, just like a smaller little room or something. I don't really know, but I may do that because we have the room up here and there's no real need for, super tall roofs for a bedroom and a bathroom. So if we make our way up here, I haven't done a ton of laying out here. I have started putting in some doorways to get into the lighthouse. I figured he would have doorways on multiple floors to be able to get back into the lighthouse. So there is that. This is going to be yet another little bathroom. And the reason for that is because this is where the guy that lives here, the lighthouse keeper, is going to be keeping or spending most of his time. And that's because this is going to be a grand library and it's going to be really cool. I have to keep pausing because I keep yawning because it is early in the morning, because I wanted to get a lot of recording done before I am gone for a lot of this weekend. So yeah, this is going to be a grand library. I've left this wall open because I don't know what I'm going to do. I either want to have a big porch or I want to kick this wall out and make kind of like a dome, half dome or something like that on this side. So it's like a little bay window, but it's not going to be a little one. It's going to be a relatively large bay window. And so it'd actually probably stick out by 3, and I think it would go like 1. So it may go something out like that. Potentially just going like back and forth like that, and then we would just have the diagonals here instead of these little bits here. So I may do a bay window similar to that. I don't know though, because I originally had a plan for this is going to be a little patio area as well, that connects up. And originally this whole build was actually as like this was on the same level as that. So I've shrunk it down just a bit, and I think it looks better because the original design was just a little too tall. But this design over here, I had actually fully built out in the test world on this side of the house, but I liked having the 3 windows instead. And so we may be incorporating that here. Just because I think having very large, grand windows on this side would be really good, because we're going to be having bookshelves on this entire wall, like surrounding this whole thing. And I think that's going to be really, really cool. And we're going to have a really nice feeling room. And we're going to have a wonderful bathroom. Going to be like filled with all the goodies that you need in a bathroom. And then I have not actually made the stairway that goes up to this floor. I'm probably going to cram it right over here and just kind of have it spiral up against the wall. Again, I am probably going to, well, I don't know. It adds a little flair to have that little knock-in of the wall, so I may actually keep that. But then up here is where the roof is, and we've got these fun little floor windows. And for this, what I think is going to be going in here is this is going to actually be an alchemy study. Now, the reason why this is the big focus is a library and alchemy, and that's what we're going to be focusing on when I'm building with you guys, is because this guy, this lighthouse keeper, is actually a big time alchemist for the Netherport city. And the reason he is that is because in the lighthouse, for the light that we put up there, what we are using, because it is not a standard like campfire type of lighthouse, it is a redstone type of lighthouse. And what we're going to be saying that is fueling that and making this lighthouse so gosh darn bright is that they mix streamlight and glowstone together to make a more powerful beam, thanks to the nether materials that they have. And so he's going to need an alchemy study, because he does the primary research into how to make the lighthouse even better than it is now. And I think that is a cool concept to really flesh this guy's lore out, and to give him an interesting interior. Since we have so much room, might as well use it. And so what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to make some black curtains, some black banners, and we're going to put that over the windows, or at least on the sides of the windows. I think will be good to make it so he can kind of draw the blinds, and he can grow nether materials to try and experiment and make various different glowing materials that are better than what they currently have. Shroomlight and glowstone are the current best products, but you never know, there may be something better. And so I think that's a really cool concept to help build this guy's lore out. I don't think there's going to be anything on this wall, because it would be a little harder to do like research with a big giant window that you can't really block the sun from coming in. Because as we all know, mushrooms do like dark places. And so we're going to try and make it so he can make this area as dark as possible with some like blackout curtains. I think that's going to be a really cool concept. But I have done enough talking. Let me go ahead and get some work done. and I'll bring you guys back, and we'll kind of try and do this in little snippets. So I'm going to go ahead and get the bottom area done, and then we'll come back and start doing a little bit of planning as to where this whole library stuff's going to go, and then we'll probably spend the majority of time up there because that is the main lore focus. This is kind of just like secondary research where he keeps his notes. So let me go ahead and get to a building. All right, guys, so I don't know where I left off last. I haven't checked out the last clip, but I haven't had tons and tons of time to do a lot of work on the interior here. So this area up here is just going to have to remain blank for this episode. I will finish it off in between episodes and can show you next episode. But what we're going to be doing is just making, so this is the cartography table with dark oak as an accent, and I think that will look good. Obviously, we're going to have rooms here and stuff, and then a staircase that goes up, and rooms that go off right here and here. I got all of the library done, and the reason is this past weekend has been pretty busy for me. So what we're going to be doing today to wrap the episode up is we are going to be finishing off the upper attic area where he is doing research, this lighthouse keeper. And so first we have the library to look at, which looks pretty grand if I do say so myself. We have a nice area right here, and I think what's going to go right here is I think that it's going to raise up by one block. We're going to maybe just do slabs or something right here, and I'm going to put a couch on this level, so it's kind of like a little bay window with a couch, and then maybe some desk or something right here. Not a desk, but like a end table on either side, so you can have like a drink or something like that. I think that will look good, and I really like what this little kick out here. I think this was a good idea. So this is a look at what the actual structure looks like for this area, and I am very happy with it. Did a little bit of a divot into the windows right here, adds a little bit of flair. Ceiling, very, very tall bookshelves. Not quite floor to ceiling, but there are bookshelves up there, so almost floor to ceiling. And this area is going to be just a small storage area. I didn't know what to do with it. It was going to be a bathroom, but I don't think it needs to be. I think we'll just do some form of like filing cabinet type of system here to where he can have things that wouldn't go on a bookshelf in there for storage. And then this is where of course, the patio thing is going to be, but it's not there right now. And then we've got our staircase up, which leads to right here. And so then you're greeted with stair here and a stair here. This is going to be, I'm just going to put some stairs here as sort of like chairs or a couch, just kind of like a corner couch or something. And then we'll have some fencing right here to block off anybody from being able to walk off the edge. That would not be good. You can take the stairway right here to get to this level of bookshelves right here. And then we've got bookshelves right here. And I'm going to put like a potted plant right here on all of these. And I need to make a couple more beehives. I just ran out. Need to make 4 more beehives to finish this place off. And then we've got some nice arches up top for supporting the floor structure up above. And yeah, we have a cool little walkway right here, a little bridge. I thought this was just a fun little thing to throw in there. And then, of course, this stairway that you greeted right here comes right up to here. And then this is the stairway to get to the attic space. And this area actually is looking pretty good as well. Been going through and adding just a little bit of uniqueness on the ceiling. Got some dark oak stairs right here. Need to finish off this one chunk right here. But then what we're going to do is I think we're going to start making the actual ceiling kind of come in a little bit more. We're not going to make it quite as tall. And then I think that will be perfectly fine and will look just dandy. So today what we're doing in this room is we are going to be making various different planters. And that is going to be for all these nether materials. So what I'm thinking is designating sides for these planters to be made out of different nylium. So we're going to have the crimson nylium on this side, and then we're going to have the warped nylium on this side. So let me go ahead and lay out a little bit of a plan here, and I think that will be good to be able to just show where all the planters are going to go, and then we can continue working here. Alrighty, I think this is good enough. We don't need to have an absolute ton of planters going on. I don't think they need to be too crazy. I was going to use dark oak, but I don't think we're going to do that. Now, what I'd like to do is this is gonna be primarily a glow shroom research area. So we're gonna try out some different ways of making it look like it's growing glow shroom. Now, if we get a hoe, if we go up by one more, how does that look when it connects? Does that look better? I think that does look better. So I think this is probably the best method for us to show glow shroom glowing. We'll just keep going. Oh, well, I guess we don't have enough. We'll just make these too tall. That's fine. So we're going to have this. And the nice thing is we don't really have to light this area up because it's going to be filled with glow shroom. And then we'll do some form of, I think we're going to make like a netherwort tree here. The main thing is I don't know how we're going to be laying this out in terms of how tall it's going to be. Now, I don't think it needs to be too tall. Let's do, it seems like it makes more sense to go with the warped stem. I think that works well. So let's go ahead and maybe we could do two of them. Maybe they're kind of like a conjoined sort of thing. So we have this here, and then maybe we could do the crimson right over here. Let's make it off center and back by one, and we'll make it 3 tall as well. And then basically what I'm wanting to do is just make it feel like these are actual, like these are saplings of these, if that makes sense. And so the primary thing that grow from these is actually, well, we could experiment with this as well. Like, do we want to make these actually appear to be kind of these like miniature versions of these? Like, we could do that. That kind of, I mean, that's not bad. That kind of looks interesting. It looks odd, but I don't mind it. Maybe what we do is then we can put the red version over here. Oh, that just grew. That confused me a lot. So we'll do that, and then maybe we do that. We could do something like that, and then maybe we put a glow shroom right here. I think maybe what we do, instead of putting glow shroom on these smaller ones, we say that these are like little saplings that are growing to being as big as these. And then what we can do is we can then say that this is kind of like the life cycle of these plants. They have this smaller shroom phase, and we'll even make some of these like extend down just a little bit, and we could do something like that. Since that one is bigger, we could get away with that, I think. And then maybe even this one actually starts growing a glow shroom like so. I think that is good. I like that. So we've got like these different small planter versions of these plants, and then we're going to have 2 big ones in the back here. I think that is good. Now I'm definitely going to need more of the warped blocks. So I've done a good amount of work and pretty much finished this area off. The episode's starting to get a little bit longer than I would like, so we're just going to cut it off right here. And so here is the research area. Now, a couple things I still need to get. I want to get a little bit of a alchemy set up here in terms of the potion maker, whatever that is called. And then I want to maybe get another one over here. I think that would fit this area very well. And of course, that back wall is missing, but I will figure that all out. Oop, falling down. Did the ceiling, just decided to close it up a little bit earlier than the regular roof and just make it spruce so that it stands out a little bit, and then use trapdoors to cover up all of the various nether brick. I think this makes it look very much like an attic. That's like the main feel I wanted, was like this looks and feels like a attic where he's doing interesting research. I may throw a carpet down here on the ground as well, just to add a little bit of interest on the ground. But other than that, I am very happy with how this has turned out. I think it looks very nice. And so we've got the support beams and all that. And then this is where he would be doing research on the shroom light to be able to figure out the properties of it to make the lighthouse brighter. And I think this is a really cool little lore piece. Now down here, let's go ahead, and I think I have enough stairs. If not, I do have the crafting table to make more. Let's go ahead and just do this very, very quickly. Let's just grab some of this right here, and then let's add a little bit of a platform right there. And then what we'll do is add some dark oak stairs right there, as if it's like a little chair area. Maybe what we do is we have that being there to be a little table sort of thing, and maybe we extend this out here by one like that, just to add a little flair to it. Let's get one more spruce thing there, and boom, right like that, matching. And then on the sides here, what we can do is actually do something like so, and I think that will look good. So this is a nice little seating area. You can kind of sit and enjoy your view here, or you can kind of turn around and look around outside. I think that looks nice. And then I'll go ahead and add, let's add a lantern here instead of right here. And, oh, cool. Very good, very good. I hate how, so not all sandstone breaks that fast. Like smooth sandstone breaks more like stone. This breaks like instantaneously, which is nice, but also is kind of like, I don't need it to break that fast. But I think this looks very nice. I am very pleased with how this area has turned out, and we could do something right here. I don't know what we'll put. I'll figure something out. I'll put something there that will fit the area, but there we are. We are pretty much finished with this. I have a little bit of work to do downstairs and then a little bit of wall to build up there, but other than that, this area is done and our interior is finished. Now, of course, I'm going to add a spiral staircase that goes all the way up, but that's all that's going to be in the tower itself, so that's not very exciting. And then down below, I'm going to be working on a like a basement sort of storage area for all of our shulker boxes. But again, that's not terribly exciting, so we'll save that for off-camera work. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like in real life, and I think that's going to have to do it. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.